What's up, Captains? It's Colonel Mustard, and this time I'm in the Z-39 on Two Brothers. Standard battle, not fantastic for DDs, and as in all replay breakdowns, I'm going to pause throughout the game, but the first one is going to be to show the lineup, so let's do that real quick. So the first thing you're going to notice, 5 battleships, obviously 4 DDs, only 3 cruisers, but one of the cruisers is a radar cruiser. It's not really going to come into play this game, but it is something you should always take note of, is how many radar ships there are. Even at tier 7, the premium tier 7s can have radar. It's good to know that as a DD. Biggest thing I'm looking at right now is the destroyers. The Akatsuki does not outgun me. The Icarus can, sort of. Fushin, it's tight. And the T-22, not really. So I know what I'm looking at is, because it is, and I'm going to go ahead and continue it. What I'm looking at right now is, because it's standard battle, it generally is a lot more passive. Not to mention, it's also, you generally get about, as a DD, you end up getting about 400 to 600 XP less. From my experience and the way I play DDs, I generally get a lot less XP when I'm playing a destroyer in standard battle. It's part of the game. You just have to live with it. Lately, standard battle has been coming up a lot, which is kind of annoying because I do prefer domination. But, you know, you play the games you're put into. So, first thing I see, boom, right there. We have a smoke screen. I have no idea what the DD this is yet. Very soon I'm going to figure out what DD it is based on the type of smoke screen that's laid. So that's the priority threat right now. And that's what I'm kind of focusing on. I'm thinking about torping it, but then I noticed something. The smoke screen ended very shortly, so either he's sitting in that smoke, or that, if you guys remember, is the Icarus. And at this point, I think it's the Icarus, so I'm holding off on my torps. I get spotted, boom, T-22. So, I'm going to do, now here, okay, boom. I'm going to pause it again. I am against 2 DDs. The only support I have right now is a Mutsuki, which, let's be honest, that's not much. They have a Nelson at 11. Their ships are much more. We have this group over here, watch my cursor, over here, that is going around this island for some reason, even though this is perfectly safe. This avenue right here is pretty much safe. You can come here, you can turn out. You have this island here that you can branch off of. I don't really understand the passivity of my team, but I'm going to have to work with it. So the first thing I do is I'm going to be dropping a smoke and a hydro. I want to trade favorably in this situation. So notice how much health I take off this T-22. Right now I'm looking at those. I'm going to accelerate a little bit. I'm just going to do some torpedo beats. No worries. No big deal. I want to trade as best I can with this T-22. I know he isn't going to hit me with torps. I'm worried. I'm kind of worried about the Akasa torps, but, you know, thankfully this ship has hydro. And I do want to open up to get more guns on him, which I do end up deciding to do now that I've seen the torp indicator go far. Akasa torps are still a possibility, but I do have that engine boost ready in case that happens. So I'm going to drop one on him, and then I'm also going to drop one on this Nelson in case this Nelson turns out. Yeah, and I don't want to waste the smoke, so I am going to be shooting. Here's the Nelson's options. He either goes into the island or he turns out. I drop torps in case he turns out. If he goes into the island, it's going to take him quite a while to turn out of that. So my next torp is going to be for him. So I don't want to waste the smoke. German smokes are really short, so you want to maximize it. Thankfully, the Z-39 has a decent fire chance. Not good, but decent. For a DD, it's good, but for the caliber of guns, it's decent. And there's my first kill on the DD. I predicted him accurately. He sat in his smoke, and I took him out. So the biggest thing right now is that now I do have support. Well, sort of. I have a group behind me. They're still kind of meandering around. And right now I'm trying to decide. I know the Icarus is still out there, and I would love to get an inclination of knowing where he is. And he gives it to me. Now, because he's dropping that smoke, and I think he's peeling into the other smoke for some reason, I'm going to go ahead and gamble here because I have so many more ships behind me. There's only 3 ships that could realistically engage me. I'm going to go ahead and take this risk. That zoom in right there was to see how sunken that wreck was, to know if my torps are going to get through. That's why I zoomed in there. And at this point now, I'm going to back off a bit. I don't want to overextend. I don't want to take more damage than I need to. I need to, in standard battle as a DD, you need to really maximize your trades. All right, I'm going to pause it again real quick. And I want to draw attention to this right here. 2 Britans going in. It's around this time that I actually noticed they're doing it. Now, they're fairly slow battleships. They're essentially the French version of the New York in the game, although a tad bit better. I'm aware of this, but it's going to take him a while to get there, and it's going to take him even longer to cap, so I know I have time. Right now, I need to get my team on this side the best possible chance of winning this side. And I actually thought I was going to hit him with torps. Now, right now, I'm thinking I don't have smoke, I don't have hydro. I need to keep kiting and try to help the Mitsuki as much as possible. Because the Mitsuki's essentially in a knife fight against an Icarus. Which he isn't gonna win that without help. Now, even though the Mitsuki doesn't have the best gun power in the world, with help, if I can land my shots, he's gonna be okay. They both dodged each other's torps. And then I'm looking at this Icarus and I'm going, well, what is he doing? Oh, that's what he's doing. He's going for the ram. Nothing I could do. Mitsuki didn't drive defensively against it. I don't want to let this smoke go to waste, so now I'm going to start peppering that Nelson. I want to try, and I notice he's got 2 fires on his rear, so I'm actually trying to hit that front section to get a fire there to help kill him a little quicker. But we're about to have so much fire going in on him that it's going to be irrelevant. Now, the Britans in the middle have gone invis. And in my head, I'm already going, okay, the second this smoke's gone, I'm turning around and I'm going there. And I'm about to ping my team, too. I didn't want to ping my team too early, and the ping's going to be coming soon. I didn't want to drop that ping too early because I didn't want everyone going, but we don't need much to deal with this Britann group. About 2 ships should do it with my help. Because they don't have a DD right now. Because the enemy DD is over fighting our Fushun and Iron Duke. They have a Fushun in Atlanta with a something. I don't think we need that much. Now, there's 2 options that this Britann group is doing. They're either pushing straight through and trying to hit us from behind, which I actually consider at this point in time to be the most likely. Or they've both just pushed slightly into the cap and are trying to cap us out. Which, honestly, would be the dumber of all the decisions. Because all I have to do is what you're going to see. Spoiler alert, that's exactly what they're doing. They're doing the thing that I thought was least likely. But let's assume that at this point I don't know. I'm starting to get an idea of it because I'm like, okay, I still haven't seen them. This isn't great. Okay, they're still in the gap. At this point, I know for a fact they're still in the gap. There's no way they wrapped around the other side of that island. At least I don't think they did. Because there's no logical reason to do that since our Iron Duke is definitely going down. At least he took out the Helena while he was at it. There's no logical, especially now. I know for a fact they are both still in that. They're in that cubby hole. Here's the thing. Now I'm going to go ahead and pause it real quick. You notice the cap here. It's getting pretty high. My objective is to go into the cap, but not go in so close that they can kill me. And at this point, I'm kind of thinking, okay, they definitely have their guns ready. They're going to take off half my health if they get spotted because of BB-AP pen. Even without that, I mean, just overpen damage from 2 of those battleships. That's 20 guns that are going to be shooting at me. And I'm going to hold off my second one. I want to know where the second battleship is before I fire my second torp. Okay, there he is, and I've been spotted. And here comes 20 guns. Yeah, that was a little rough. I do fire. I know I have 30 seconds between. I get enough out of range to where I have enough room to disengage. And the first thing I do is I fire at the first one, then I fire at the second one. Notice, and I'm going to pause real quick. Notice how I completely reset the cap. Completely reset it. It's not the reason I really wanted to do that is because in case I did die, like from blind fire or whatever, they're going to hit me with blind fire. Don't you worry. That's going to happen next. I wanted to make sure that the cap was reset for my team coming in to be able to turn it around in case I die. Because when you're playing a DD and you're dealing with battleships, you never know when an AP pen is just going to ruin your day. Thankfully, he does shoot. He does get a very hefty salvo on me, which was unfortunate. And at this point, I know I know that one specifically is taking a torp because, you know, he's less health than the one that isn't. So this first torp is going to go for the one I just lit on fire. Because I know he has to back up. He just beached. And I'm going to wait to see what this one does. Because the number one thing I see right now is I have an Omaha and an October coming on my left. I have no idea what the Britannia on my team is doing. It's not worth thinking about. And I'm going to take a predictive path here. I don't think he's going to turn in. I actually think... I honestly think he's going to weave a little bit, but not diverge from his path now. My smoke's dying, so now I have to go undetected. But that Britannia, I think he might be using the not premium damage control. Because he couldn't stop this flood. He tries to heal, doesn't happen. And I get my Deb strike. So I'm looking pretty right now. But here's the issue. That Fushun and Atlanta haven't been spotted in a very long time. And here they are. So the first shot, I'm obviously going to go to Fushun. Now, here's my issue. The main reason I've been trying to conserve my health all game is for a situation like this, where I have a Fushun that has more health than me. Now, keep in mind that the Z-39 does have a very high base health, but you do not have the DPM of a lot of DDs that are around your tier. So it's kind of important to try to conserve that health. That's my problem. But then I see this Atlanta. And the Atlanta becomes my #1 priority. 137 health, all I have to do is get at least one pen on not a module. Now this widespread is I call this netting. I don't do this often. It's mainly when I'm under pressure and I'm trying to just try to goat the DD into what I want to do. I don't actually expect these to hit whatsoever. Although at that point, when I just looked at that, I did kind of think they might hit. But no, he's better. He's not bad. He's not a bad DD player. He clearly knows at least a little bit what he's doing. And right now, I'm pretty much trying to evade as much fire as I can, trade as best I can, and then pop my smoke. I have a ship here that can scout. He's also the last DD alive. What I want to do is create a favorable scenario for me. So I pop my smoke, get my Confederate medal. And then he pops the smoke. This is perfect. I still have a minute on hydro. I am gonna dump some torps just in case he's stubborn. But I'm gonna charge him. That's why I pop my engine boost, and I'm going in. He's the last ship alive. Our team's pretty much wrapped this up. Now, the main reason we won this is you don't want to crap on your team, because I'm sure all these guys tried their best, and I dropped that set because I know the second this guy is spotted, either I'm going to kill him or the October is. The main reason we won is because I stopped the cap. I mean, you saw where it was. I was the only one in position to do anything. Now, with German DDs, using AP is very common. But with the 150 mils against the other DDs, just stick with HE. You're going for the alpha, and your AP isn't quite gonna. I do have the end battle report, so let's check those out. All right, so if we look at the end battle results, I had solid damage for the Z-39 at 124k, which is nice because this ship can be really inconsistent. Nice stock of medals. And if we look at the next screen, we have 2k base XP, which is very good in standard battle because the lack of being able to cap, it does hurt your XP total when you don't have capture points to contest and fight over. So it was very nice. I was able to use my torpedoes. The damage spread, now the Z-39 is a hybrid. And the important thing to remember on that is you want to use your guns and your torps, but this ship does lean a lot more toward torps, which is why it ends up being kind of inconsistent. Due to clan battles, just a quick announcement, due to clan battles, I'm not going to be able to make as much content, not just because I'm playing, but because I organize our clan battles, so I will be on a little less consistent, making content as much as I like. I will still be streaming on Tuesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific for those of you who are on the West Coast, and any other translations I'm sure you can do. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff, and have a good day.